How are you doing? Good afternoon, Math 8. So I would like to go over the review sheet with you guys of translating, images. Once again, I'm going to go over a couple things. You do have a quiz tomorrow, so I would definitely pay attention. If you have any questions, keep in mind tomorrow is Wednesday. So from 10 to 11, I will share the link on Google Classroom, remind you guys on Remind. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, that I will be open to talk on Google Hangout. So please make every effort. I know this is a new time. Everything's a little strange and new, but do your very best to just stay engaged during this time. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm responding left and right to your mind messages, and I'm doing whatever we can to make sure we can keep learning going. All right, so once again, I'm going to go over the review sheet of translating just to refresh you guys once again. Tomorrow you do have a quiz. It is 5 questions long. It is all online, so you don't have to worry about printing something out or taking a picture and uploading it. All right, it's all online. So let's go to the worksheet. I'm going to go over only the even numbers because you still have to submit. You still have to submit the rest of the worksheet. So I want to just go over the even numbers with you. All right, so you should be seeing my screen right here. I'm going to start with number 2. It says translation, which is one of the transformations that we're working on. Right, they give us the pre-image, which is YMG. They want us to translate this 1 unit to the left and 2 units up. Now, you should be able to recognize that that is, you can turn it into the actual notation, the translation notation. But if you don't, let's just follow the instructions that it tells us to do. Every single point, we're going to move 1 to the left and 2 units up. So every single point, 1 unit to the left, 2 units up. So if I take Y and I go 1 unit to the left and 2 units up, it ends up right here, right? This is my new point right there. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me just make sure I can annotate on here. Okay, cool. So if I go 1 unit to the left, 2 units up, this is my new point right here, right? That's my new point right. Hold on 1 second. Got some technical difficulties here. Gotta work out. Cool. All right, perfect. So right here. Right, and I would label this. This would be Y prime. Right, that's Y prime. I do the same thing with M. I go 1 unit to the left, I go 2 units up, and I end up right here. Right, and I call this M prime. G, I do the same thing. I end up right here, and this is G prime. Okay, so these are what my new images will be. And of course, you still need to connect all of them. So don't just stop there, connect them, make pretty lines. And that's your new image, just like that. Okay, so if you did this on your own paper, it's not hard. You could have draw out, it's like it goes 5 up, 5 down, 5 to the right, 5 to the left. So it's only to -5 and +5s on the X and the Y. And you could have done that, and you could have been able to do that on your own piece of paper. So if you are not printing this out and you're not printing it out to do it, and you're going to do it by hand, I would recommend you just obviously still make the axis and do your very best to try to make them as even as possible. Let me go on to number 4. Okay, let me go on to number 4. I know what I was going to use. I was going to use their tools because I would have kept it there. Okay, give me 1 more second. Let me just try to rewrite it again. It stays in its place. And then I'll clear off so that's number 2, right? Let me scroll down to number 4, right? Number 4 is telling us to go 5 units to the right and 2 units up. Once again, I'm going to travel 5 units to the right, 1 unit up. I'm not worried about notation right now, only because I know in the next couple, I'm going to write the notation for you guys and try to help you with it. But here is just telling you exactly what's doing. Now remember, we're moving every single point, every single vertex is being moved 5 units to the right and 2 units up. So I'm going to count from here, go 5 to the right, 2 units up, and I'll put a dot right there. Do the same thing with I, 5 to the right, 2 units up, okay? And I'm gonna do the same thing with E, right? 5 to the right, 2 units up, okay? Now, the only thing that I didn't do here that you need to make sure you get into the habit of doing is labeling them. So this one here, make sure you label it, write the letter X, or rather, this is actually X prime. Oh, sorry. This is X prime right here. This is I, and this over here is E. That's not an E. What's going on here? Stop it. Trying out something brand new that I haven't used before, so I'm trying to see how it works. And now it's not doing so well. I'm not liking it. Anyway, this one is E, right? And these are all prime. So X prime, E prime, and I prime. Okay. Now, once again, you just connect the dots, and then that one as well is done. Okay. Okay, so these are translations, and all we're really doing is sliding it. So another keyword for translation is slide, and this is a good thing to remember. So we're just sliding the image over. That's all that we are doing here. Number 6. Okay, number 6, it's telling us to translate the image 2 to the right, 3 units up. So I'm moving 2 to the right, 3 units up, creating my brand new point. This new point here is going to be called J prime. Right, M, I'm going to go 2 units right, 3 up. This is my M prime. X is 2 units to the right and 3 up. And some of you guys are like, oh, I remember we did this in class. Yes, this is the same exact worksheet from class. I'm not trying to trick you. I just, because we had a little gap in time, I'm just refreshing your mind on what we did, okay? And then E, 2 to the right, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 is right here. Okay, so that's E prime. Now you need to make sure you remember we are writing the prime markers, as this is an actual image after the pre-image, okay? So now that you have all your points in the right spot, and once again, all we're doing now is connecting the dots, okay? We're connecting them to make the image look exactly like this image should look like the pre-image. All right, and then boom, just like that, okay? Let me go on to 8. Now 8 is a little bit different. Here, 8 is telling you to actually write the rule. Now I'm gonna write the rule 2 different ways, and the reason why is because you need to be able to write it in words as well as write it in its notation. Both need to be fluid in both. Now pay attention that, as I told you before, the new image or the actual image that we create has prime indications, or these prime markers, which is like apostrophes, right? The original image does not. So when I look at number 8, I'm paying attention to this is V prime, and then this one here is V, right? So I'm really going from V to V prime. Do not do it backwards, because then you will write the wrong rule and you won't show me the correct way it was actually transformed. So go from the pre-image to the image by paying attention to the one that does not have the prime markers. So when I look at V here, I see that to go from V to V prime, it does need to go up 1, right? And honestly, let's do left and right first. Let's always do left and right first, because that's X first. We always move the X first. So let's talk about, we actually go to the left 1, right? I'm going to write these in words just so we all are on the same page. So it goes to the left 1 unit. So we can write left 1. I'm gonna write left 1 unit, sure. And then it goes to the left 1 unit, and it goes up 1 unit, right? So this is the way we would read it. We would say left 1 unit and then up 1 unit. Now, there is another way to write this as this notation, and the notation looks something like this, okay? The notation would look like this. X goes to XY. Sorry, hold on. Right, XY. And then there's like always a little arrow there, right? So the XY, and then there's an arrow. Let me see if I can find an arrow. And then that always goes to something, right? That goes somewhere. So xy goes to x, let's put parentheses, x, and it went to the left. So whenever you go to the left, that's always negative. So, because if you think about the x-axis, the left side is the negative side, the right side is the positive side. So if I move to the left, it's kind of like I'm moving towards the negative, so you can associate that with a minus sign. So left is -1, comma, and then it goes up 1, and once again, on the y-axis, the top half of the y is positive, the bottom half of the y is negative. So if I'm moving up, that's indicating a positive. So I'm going up 1, that's +1. So y +1. That's what we want to write here, y +1. Okay? So our actual notation will look something like this. xy goes to x -1 and then y +1. Or you can describe it as left 1 unit, up 1 unit. But you need to be able to describe it in both ways, because on your quiz, I do use the notations as well as I use words to have you tell me the type of translation that occurred, okay? So number 10, I'm gonna do it the same way I just did. Number 10, oh, sorry, hold on 1 second. Okay, let me just keep these up here, stay next to this one. I'll do number 10. Okay, and you can always go back and watch these videos again, right? So that way you can get it. But let me do number 10 with you, and I'm going to do it the same exact way. I'm going to explain it in words, and then I'm going to explain it in words, and then I'm going to explain it in this notation. Okay, so okay, when I look at number 10, I see A goes to A prime. Now pay attention. This is A. That's A prime. Do not go from A prime to A, because then you'll end up writing the wrong root. So when I look at A, I say, okay, is it going to the left or to the right? In this case, it goes to the right. How many units does it go to the right? It goes to the right 1 unit. So if I was writing this in words, it would look something like this. Right, I would write right 1 unit, and then I would write, and then it goes to the right 1 unit, and then I notice it goes down. So then I would say it goes down, and it goes down 3 units. So that's what I would write as my word notation. Now, if I had to write the rule would look something different. It would look like this. It would look like X, Y, and I'm not going to draw the arrow because I do not have, I want to keep going back to try to find that arrow. Right? I'm just going to draw a dash. Right? X, Y goes to X +1 because it goes to the right, and then Y -3 because it goes down 3 units, okay? So that's what the notation would look like if I was describing it in notation, right? It goes right 1 unit, which is the +1, and then down 3, which is a -3, all right? Once again, if I'm going fast for you, pause it, go back, listen again, understand it. You need to be able to read it and say, okay, I know the original is here because there's no prime indications, and it goes from this A to A prime. Now, what happened? It goes to the right 1, and then it goes down 3. Know how to describe it in words, like here, and also know how to write it in terms of its notation, right? To the right is always positive, to the left is always negative. Those are in the x-axis. If it goes up, it's positive. If it goes down, it's negative, and that's with the y-axis, okay? Let's go on to number 12, okay? Let's go on to number 12. Number 12, I see here, great. I just want to make sure it's the right one. I see I have T, P, B, and it goes to T prime, B prime, and B prime. Here, I want to make sure I recognize that the rule, it goes from T to T prime. Now, does it go to the left or to the right? No, it does not. It doesn't move at all on the X. So I'm not gonna write anything in terms of words in terms of its movement on the X, because it doesn't move at all on the X. But it does go up, and it looks like it goes up 4 spaces. So if I was writing it, I would write go up 4 units. That's what I would write. It goes up 4 units, and that'll be the end of it. Now, the notation's a little bit different because it's different than words, right? The notation, you're gonna still have to write X, comma, Y, and that still goes somewhere. So where does X go? X stays the same. X doesn't move at all. X is still X. But Y does go up 4 as we described, which is Y plus 4. Now, I would take time to make sure you check 11, all the rest of the odd numbers to make sure you understand it. I did put a video link as well, so you can watch that to be able to understand translations a little bit better, right? Your quiz tomorrow is 5 questions. It covers all of these. Do your very best. I don't think there's another page. I think those are only 2 pages, right? If there's any questions, feel free to ask me them tomorrow at 10 to 11. Thank you guys so much. I hope this was helpful. I hope this gave you at least half your worksheet done, which it did. Please go and do the rest, all right? And please take pictures and upload them. And if you're like, well, how do I upload pictures? I did also do a video on how to upload pictures from your phone to the Google Classroom portal, so that way your assignments are graded and are counted. I know that this is a tough time. I know everybody's doing their very best. And thank you guys so much for working so hard, okay? Thank you so much.